What's happening, people? Got the freshness on, you know? So, speaking on the LA Christ Council, the little video game thing with the young boy, straight to the point. Christ Council, man, you were wrong. Straight like that. There's no getting around that. You don't make sexual innuendos to young children. I'm not going to go as far as to say that I suspect you're a pedophile. I think you were just trolling. You thought it was shits and giggles. You thought it was a good time. It was good fun trolling. No. there's a line that you have to, or a limit rather, where you got to say, all right, this trolling goes too far. And in regard to like young little children, that is that line. No sexual innuendos. Even though your name is, ooh, I scoregasmed. If that were my screen name, first I wouldn't have a screen name like that, knowing I'm in a platform subject to have children on it, right? So even making that name, if you were conscious that there's gonna be kids on there, that in itself is kind of messed up. But ain't no way a child, even if that's your name or not, that's no excuse. Child asks you, oh, what's your name? Yeah, you're not suggesting any orgasm, and definitely not any screen name of wiggle my third leg. You know what I'm saying? You either switch your name up, or when they ask it, you bounce or change the subject or something. You don't tell any children anything about wiggle third leg. I don't care if that's your government name. You don't do that. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, I think you were just trolling. I think you thought it was funny and everything. But no. No. Are you okay to do something bad? No. You run across the street. Yeah, you don't do stuff like that, yo. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, so, you know, I understand why LA kicked you off the joint, especially if he told you once, twice, 3 times, and he said that that's like his little homie and everything. Yeah, man, you can't do that. So, that's my opinion on it. I'm not gonna go as far as to say I think that man is a pedophile. I think you're just goofing around trolling, but you have to put a limit on the shit that you do in regard to trolling, because at the same time, I can't knock other people that are considering you a pedophile by way of you doing that. You know what I'm saying? If they feel that, I can't say, oh, why do you believe that? No, you said enough stuff to make people suspect of you like that. So that should be the lesson in itself. I know you say you don't care or anything, but that's one of the worst things people want to be considered. You know what I mean? So it's like you're probably falsely getting that label or that stereotype attached to you of pedophilia or something when you didn't have to, when you thought your trolling was funny and you didn't realize that you're supposed to put a limit on it. No, no little kid stuff. You know, now in regard to LA, playing with the video games and all that with the young man since the age of 10, from the ages of 10 to 12. I also don't think he's been grooming the young child. I think, you know, it is what it is. It's the Fortnite game. Adults, children play. He saw he was nice. Got him on the friends list. I think I was as innocent as, you know, he explains it to be. However, if I were a father and I had a 10 or 12-year-old, I would forbid them to have exchanges with grown people on an online game. You know, it's gonna, you know, hope this don't sound too convoluted. It'll make a lot of sense. I would forbid it. Not because of people like LA that's just playing the game, you know, even maybe dropping little jewels on the young man here and there, chilling, not cursing, all of that. I'm not worried about him, about LA. I'm worried about the actual pedophiles. I don't know what the stats are. Usually with deviancy, it's about 1/10 of population. So I'm worried about that 1 out of the 10 people that my child may encounter that is going to try to groom and to, you know, be cool with him and solicit him for all type of A to the Z. You know what I mean? I'm worried about that guy. And being that that guy doesn't just come up and say, hey, I'm that guy, I want to groom your child. I'm only forced to assume that every single adult is that guy. You know what I'm saying? So I would forbid my children to do that. And this is where LA, politicking with the kid, as innocent as it is, one thing that it does do though is it kind of tells the kid that it's okay to exchange with adults. You know what I'm saying? It practices that habit, and I think as a habit, that child should not be doing that. Even though LA is copacetic, you ain't on no weird bullshit. I totally understand dropping jewels, not cursing, all that. I get it. You're good money. But the potential next adult that young man may encounter and send a friend request to, he might not be good money. You know what I'm saying? So it's basically the practice of befriending adults on the shit is the issue, not the adult of LA in particular. Now, the fact that you've been LA, that is, I'll talk to you, I'm sure you're watching. The fact that you've already been politicking with him for 2 years and everything, cool, y'all already got a rapport. So I wouldn't even say, oh, you should never speak to him again, da-da-da-da-da. I mean, you know, y'all already been rocking for 2 years. You know, it's cool. He got lucky. He found a good one. You know what I'm saying? But if anything, if you haven't, now you might have already told Shorty this already, try to let him know to not make a habit of doing that, of befriending adults on the thing. You know what I'm saying? So you don't gotta like dub him and not politic with him again on some game shit. But if you haven't, that is, try to let him know that in general, that's not a good practice. You know, if I were on the game as an adult and a little kid came, whatever, I might have did the very same thing. You know what I'm saying? Because I wouldn't be, you know, my mind doesn't go there. The only reason, because I mean, I've heard him on the game with children before, and my mind didn't go there. The only reason my mind is thinking from that aspect now is because it's become an issue, because Christ Council said some old weird, crazy shit. So that put that subject prevalent on my mind. And then I had to think of it from all different angles. And also, you got to think like this. Child molesters, pedophiles, and all that, they're called predators for a reason. What do predators do? They find the best way to get their prey, right? Now, Fortnite is a very child-friendly online game. So I can only imagine that is a popular tool amongst the weirdo crowd to try to get at young little kids. So in saying that, it might even be a bigger proportion than just 1 out of 10 is a weirdo. It might be 2 or 3 out of 10. Because you got to think those predators are looking at that as a vehicle, as a tool to get to the little boys and girls. You know what I'm saying? So for that reason, if anything, let that man know not to make a habit of that. And in general, LA, you should probably be conscious not to make a habit of befriending the kids. Even though, yeah, you ain't gonna do no weird shit. We get that. But you don't want those children to practice that habit of having a consistent exchange with adults because the weirdos are out there. You know what I'm saying? That's like a school teacher got a class of 30 students. She writing on the board or whatever, right? One little kid's digging his ass, bang, throw some dookie, hit her in the back of the neck, bang. She turned around like, yo, who threw the dookie at my neck? Nobody says anything. So what does she do? She punishes the entire class. You know what I'm saying? Because she don't know which out of the 30 was on the weird shit. You know what I mean? 25 of them wouldn't even think of throwing dookie at her neck. The other 4 is probably too scared to do it. But there's one little youngin' that said, fuck that, rang, bang, right in the back of her shit. Shit went all down her shirt everywhere, all down her back. So she has to just assume that it was everybody and punish everybody. So that's kind of like what this is. Being that the predators are out there, and you never know which one is the weirdo or the creep, you just have to move some semi-militant where you just assume everybody is like that, and you gotta like tell the kids like, look, don't do this, don't practice this. You know what I'm saying? So you know, niggas is talking about, oh, LA's grooming the kid. They ain't grooming the kid. It's playing the fucking game with them. You know what I'm saying? But there are those people out there that would groom the kids. You know? So that's my thoughts of it. The reason I wanted to speak on it is because, you know, a lot of stuff as far as doing YouTube about, I'm not really interested in. You know, little gossip columns and all that other stuff, things that happen in the so-called world of entertainment. You know, I don't like talking about that shit. But something like this, I would actually do a show on. So I figured, you know, I'd speak on it, and maybe, you know, we could take it from there. LA, you could get on it, whoever wants to get on it. And we could talk about the world of online video games and children and adults, and whether they should or shouldn't be interacting with them. And, you know, we could look up some statistics and shit like that, and, you know, just have a dialogue, little call-in or something about it. That's my thoughts. But yeah, the main point, yeah, Christ Council, no, don't do shit like that, man. That shit is weird. It's okay to be weird in a general sense. I don't think anybody should be a follower, but some things are just no-nos, because that's broaching on a serious subject. Matter of fact, the same rules apply to you, Christ Council. You shouldn't be entertaining any sexual innuendos with the kid, because for that very same reason. Because let's say you're not thinking of actually doing any weird shit with the kid and you cracking jokes, another dude may come along that's also on that weird cracking joke shit, you know what I'm saying? But he may really be about that life. So it's like you're helping the predators disguise themselves in the crowd when you do stuff like that. So there's so many different reasons, angles, and varieties of why that shit is just wrong. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, you're gonna do what you want, you're a grown-ass man, but I'm gonna share my input of why that shit is wrong. It's like when Tommy did the flashing his daughter. He didn't flash his joint, but it was suggestive. That shit was out of pocket. I don't think Tommy a predator per se. I just think he was trolling his own daughter on some weird shit. But no, you just don't do shit like that. You know what I mean? And we should have these exchanges when, you know, we do things that's, you know, not quite right to help build each other up. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, it is what it is. There's no escaping it. There's no twist. Oh, it was okay. No, it wasn't okay, dude. You don't do that. You know what I mean? And in regard to the Black Sector Mafia, there I heard a couple trolls saying, "Oh, these niggas ain't speaking about it." I mean, when LA said he's out of the group, oh, I guess now we got to go back to the album and take Christ Council's verses off of it and totally change shit. So I don't know, LA, maybe he shouldn't be out the group, because there's going to be a whole lot of work we got to do now to get his shit. Oh, wait a minute, he ain't on the fucking album. So it's like, out the group, in the group. It's like, all right, you're out the group. Well, you've been out the group. And then I heard you say, Christ Council, that you don't do free verses or publish artists and all that type of shit. So, I mean, if that was the case, why didn't you say that from jump? Because, yeah, like you've been, you know, giving mad different tracks and you never got on anything. You should have just said that. Look, I don't do shit for free or whatever. I'm a published artist. Whatever that means. Port City's a published artist. I'm a published artist. And we're all over that album. But whatever. That's your prerogative. What's up, my man? Okay, yeah, definitely. I'm going to come in there in a second. All right. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, you know, so yeah, that's whatever. But, yeah, those are my thoughts about it. Feel free to discuss below.